So today I will be giving you an update on the food forest. We will be renaming the food forest, which I'm very excited about, and I will give you a funny story on the Yankees. Let's go. So we are back in the friendly forest, soon to be renamed. Watch this space. I want to give you a quick run through. There's a papaya, mango, a lemon tree, mulberry trees, native trees, marula there, moringa, bigger marula, quite a nice strong one, doing well. A mango that for some reason didn't make it, probably termites. Portia pointed out that termites normally strike when you've got root stress, so it could be that there wasn't enough water or something caused root stress. And then it doesn't look like it, but there's probably about another 40 trees hidden between the grasses here. We went quite big on the marulas because we could get them, and because they seem to do very well in this climate. That is a I actually don't know, I can't remember the name now, but that is a local plant. And so there's a couple of things that we're going to change here. First of all, that area where we have big water harvesting structures, we are busy planting leucaena and moringa, and there's a chance that we might not get them through the cold yet, but we are going to water this area heavily to get the grasses up, to try and cover for the cold this year. So while we are watering, we might as well plant some nitrogen fixing plants. And then this area that we didn't put in that many water harvesting structures, we want to put in something like a cookie pan effect, and so I'll show that to you as well. So the idea with a cookie pan is that whatever you drop in the cookie pan somewhere goes and rolls into a hole somewhere. So any water that falls, there should be enough holes for it to fill up. There's not much of a fall here, and it is very sandy, and that's why I thought in the beginning not to put in water harvesting structures. But we have maybe 40 trees in here now, so we're gonna need every single little bit of drop of water that we can get and can harvest in here to live in here. So it's another week later, and the leucaenas are growing very well. Onions have popped up everywhere, but I want to show you this. So it is a public holiday today, and so I have time to come spend time on the farm, take the guys to cut grass so we can mulch. And I realized the guinea fowl came around and they dug up the wall. You can see there and here. They dug up everything. Now obviously we don't want to hinder the guinea fowl, but they've eaten all the beetroot, left all the onions, which is good, and they have done damage to the termites. Now the termites here is a huge problem. They get into the mulch, they eat this grass everywhere. But if we can keep the guinea fowl happy, then they will have a significant impact on the termites, because the termites take, for instance, a stick like this, they build a little house around it, and then they start eating it. But if you break the houses, you can see here's a termite mount here. If you break the houses, then they go somewhere else, and so that is what the guinea fowl are good for. They break the houses of the termites, or the burrows, or whatever you call them, the housings that they build around their food. They break the houses, scratch, and then eat all the termites that they can find. So it's a gift from nature, and we didn't know that they were going to eat the beetroots. We actually didn't know that they're going to arrive, but we are happy to have hundreds of them in the garden now, helping us fight the termites. So it's another couple of days later, and we've been adding loads and loads of mulch, almost so much that you can't see the trees anymore. Now we have another problem. We have these little bastards, termites, eating our grass. Here you can see they are in the millions living in between the grass. So we are scratching open the grass, and the guinea fowls has helped. But you can see here how they are building their nest around everything that's alive. This is a little native tree growing here, and yeah, so we are spraying wood vinegar to try to keep them at bay. Now, wood vinegar smells like old tobacco stumps that's been soaked in water, and so hopefully we don't have smoking termites. Hopefully they don't enjoy the smell of wood vinegar and they stay away from our plants, because we already lost now 5 moringas to them. The other thing that I want to show you quickly, I told you to watch the space. Now, Damien is one of my very first members, so I decided to name this forest after him, and I'm planning of naming everything on the farm to my members, because without them none of this would be possible. So if you're a member and you want a certain part named after you or certain thing named after you, whether it's Portia's papayas or Gordon's gourmet chickens, or you know, something like that, if you're one of my members, I really want to name something after you on the farm. And if there's something specific that you are interested, so for instance, if you're interested in building, then maybe we should name one of the green buildings in the future after you. If you're interested in water capturing, maybe we should do a patch of Zypits and name that after you. And yeah, just tell us, and I would like to return the favor of all your support. Okay, so this is the end of the video, and I quickly want to tell you a story and add to the theme of the video, which is the naming. And I know there was a time on the island where the guys that was working for me on the island in Mozambique, one called me Donut, and I thought for a while this was my name, and I just let it go until the lady that was sort of my island mother heard that they are calling me Donut. And then from there on, all of the white people also started calling me Donut, just because they thought it was very funny. Obviously, the guys working for me had no idea what a donut was, but the guys that was the expats, they all knew what donuts was, so they thought it was very funny that I am now called Donut. And so the naming of things are quite important. With the Yankees, which is an interesting story, you know, my ancestry is Dutch, and in New York at that stage there was a lot of Dutch people living in a certain part of town. Now Jan is sort of like John for the Dutch, Jan, and lots of my people are still called Jan. Lots of the Afrikaans Boer people are still called Jan, my tribe, from Dutch origin, and so half of them are called Jan. And then Cornelius was a very popular Dutch name as well, but to shorten that, they call them Kies. Now, Kies we don't use in my language anymore. That's a word we call baboons, but the Dutch still use it often as short for Cornelius. And so, in a certain part of New York where there was a lot of Jan and a lot of Kies, the people from around it called them the Yankees, the Jan Kies. Yankees, and so that's where the Yankees got their name from the Dutch in English in English country, which I thought was very interesting. And one of the reason I'm talking about names and where names come from and so on is that we are thinking of renaming our channel and our whole existence from the food forest Namibia, which is quite a long word, to something smaller. And one of the reasons is we don't only do the food forest, we try really hard to get these food forests up and to get a food forest throughout this part of our land. But we also do a lot of community work, and we really try to empower the Namibian people and get them up and running. And so the food forest Namibia seems like it might not encompass everything. We still have no idea what we want to be naming ourselves. And so if you have any ideas, we are thinking of something small like INAM or WeNam or GrowNam. Now GrowNam belongs to somebody that are, you know, in the permaculture movement, so I can't use something too close to that. I don't want to hurt them. And yeah, so if you have an idea for a name, maybe give me a shout. And as I said earlier in my video, if there's a part of this property that you want to be named after you, or a certain project that you want to be named after you, give me a shout. Especially to my members on YouTube or on Buy Me a Coffee. I would really love to name something after you. If it's something that you're specifically passionate about, that's even better. Then I know I'm doing this for my Major Surge, or I'm doing this for Gordon, or I'm doing this for, you know, um, uh, Porsche, or whoever, one of my members. That would really, sorry, I don't know all the names now by heart, but I would really, really love to name something after you. And that is the end of my video. So from one donut to another donuts, or all the donuts out there, I hope you have a wonderful day.